Here we have a slightly used 2023 Mazda MX-5 Miata. This one comes in the Grand Touring trim level in Quartz Platinum Metallic on Terracotta Napa leather. The powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. That gets you 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. But to the front end here, we get LED headlamps. Like the look there. It's small but aggressive. Kind of reminds me of the RX-8. Of course, it's starting to rain as soon as I start this video. And over here we have 17-inch aluminum wheels. Passive keyless entry. So before I continue, I'm just gonna put this top up, and the controls are there. So you just hold that to close it and then push it the other direction to fold it down. And that's kind of the action you get there. And it's power retractable, so all that's done electronically. You just have to hold the button down. But we do have one touch down front windows. You have to roll them up just regular, and then rear window locks here, power door lock controls, power mirrors are there. So just pick a side, you can adjust, or you can offset it there in the middle. I like the trim of the actual door though. Traction control toggle, and then lane departure toggles there. You can pop the trunk from up here, release the hood there. And there's the driver's seat. So it is manual, so the seat back is there. Seat bottom, you have a little lever there. And this terracotta leather is a $300 option. I think it's worth every penny, especially on this Platinum here. And then we also have a standard with a Grand Touring 9-speaker Bose sound system. So that's what's in the headrest there. So nice look with the top up here, and fuel cap, you just push that to get to that. And premium is recommended just to get the full output with this Skyactiv G engine. There's a back end there. We do have the LED combination tail lights, and I like how they integrated the backup camera right there. Trunk space is here, so there's not a lot of it, but you can fit a few bags in there if you need to. But I think this would be fun for someone who's, I mean, it's a good weekend car, I guess, because it's not as expensive as, let's say, a Mercedes SL or something like that. But still, this Grand Touring is $38,000. And then we don't have a typical glove compartment. We have a lockable storage compartment right here. And then I think the owner's manuals are there, and the window stickers here. So if y'all want to take a look at that, I'm going to pause, or you can pause anywhere in the video to get a closer look at what I'm going over. But that fuel economy is fantastic. 35 miles per gallon highway, 26 city. And really you just get this because you want to have something with a top down. You're not necessarily trying to accelerate quickly, but with it being so light, the acceleration shouldn't be terrible, but we'll give a full rundown of that on the test drive. Cup holders here. But now we're going to go back to the front. And there's that 2-liter 4-cylinder. And with it being a rear-wheel drive car, I'm interested to see how this thing does. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat for a quick second. So leather wrap steering wheels here. There's the horn. To the screen here, again, with this being the Grand Touring, we do get the navigation system. And then we have the settings there. For audio, we have AM, FM, XM, Pandora, Bluetooth, CarPlay, and we do get wireless Apple CarPlay. And then you have wired Android Auto compatibility, I believe. That's what it showed on that window sticker. But navigation here, and then you can find an address, navigate home, points of interest, all that. So I'm using all these buttons down here. So there's a nav shortcut, music shortcut, and that home page shortcut. And that takes you to all this here. So our settings are right in here, and we can go through the display settings. For brightness, all that. Safety settings are here. Sound, if you want to adjust that. And vehicle settings here, system settings, which will be right in here, so you can change your language, your temperature units, distance units, all that, if you so choose. Now the volume knob is here, so you can turn that up, click to mute, turn it back down, favorites, and then there's a back button there. Hazards. The backup camera itself is there, no guidelines, but you have a backup camera on this small car, so that's nice to have. Now down here, these climate controls are pretty interesting. We do have single zone automatic climate, so I can adjust the fan speed here, set that to auto, then I can adjust the fan direction here, adjust that to auto, or adjust the fan speed here and adjust that to auto. And then you can adjust the temperature here and push for the AC. So that's, again, interesting. But 3-stage heated front seats, 2 USB-A inputs are there. Can't even get back there. Everything in here is tight. And then aux input, and then I don't know what that is. Can't really see. I think I'm pushing it the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know what that is, so let me know in the comments what that is, or if it's just nothing. And then storage there. Then for the shifter, push this down, reverse, neutral drive, come over here, manually shift. And then we can toggle that sport mode, on or off. Parking brake. And then a little storage compartment here if you want to put change in there. I don't know what else you could put in there. And then again, that storage compartment behind. And then garage door transmitter. Let's see what these lights look like. I wish they would put an LED in there, but I bet that's an easy swap. And then over here, paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Volume controls, click for voice recognition, and then we can go through our track list, radio station presets. Click here for the info. And on that left digital gauge cluster, we can go through the menu for that there. And Bluetooth controls are here. Cruise control, we can set that to on, cancel off, set speed there. Look at that average fuel economy, 33.3 miles per gallon. That's crazy. And then headlamp controls are here. Auto, on, high beams, flash, and then windshield wiper controls. I believe they're on auto now, so off, mist, and then auto, low, high. We can adjust that auto sensitivity right here, and then pull up for the front wiper fluid. And then for the steering wheel, the release is back in there, so you can tilt or telescope if you so choose. Not too much space to telescope, but it gets the job done. Push button starts there. And finally, here's our key fob. All the buttons are on the side there. Nice sleek look, I think. But next, for the fun part, let's go ahead and take this 2023 Miata MX-5 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Miata, actually not as slow as I would have expected. I will say, if you can tell by this camera angle, if I even decide to keep this test drive, I am squished in here. Very, very squished. And the windshield's small, everything in here is small, so it's kind of hard to get that good angle. But I mean, overall, it's not extremely uncomfortable. It's just, it's a Miata, so it's what you'd expect it to feel like in here, like you're in a go-kart. And so far, traction's been pretty good, even as I kind of tried to give it a little throttle coming out of corners, but I mean, we only have 151 pound-feet of torque, so it's not necessarily fast. But I do like the responsiveness of the paddle shifters. But we're gonna give it some throttle here. So yeah, the paddle shifters are very responsive. And again, it's not overly quick, but I mean, you redline at 7,000 RPM, so that's pretty impressive in itself. Now, one thing I do wish we had for this price point that I would expect on pretty much any vehicle is blind spot monitors, and especially where I'm having to basically sit in the steering wheel, it's hard to see out of these mirrors without adjusting them way, way back. And then with the hard top, the wind noise is not great, but it's not, I mean, it's pretty loud in here, but it's a hard top Miata. so I'm not necessarily surprised. What I am surprised with is the ride quality is actually very, very nice for this kind of car. Even when I hit bumps and things of that nature, it's not necessarily giving me whiplash. But yeah, the wind noise in here is, it definitely is not the best. But I mean, if you're gonna have the top down, and having this Bose sound system, I think is so great, because having the speakers in the seat just makes it that much easier to hear your sound when you're riding around with the top down. Now, I do think for this price point, it is a bit high. But I mean, this is a loaded out MX-5. We have heated seats, the terracotta leather, navigation, and then just having little things like the wireless CarPlay. I'm not used to having that wireless CarPlay in Mazdas, so that's nice to have. Of course, having a retractable hardtop is a plus. And even though the ride quality is, I shouldn't say that, even though the wind noise can be a bit intrusive at higher speeds, with this Bose sound system, not an issue, just not an issue. So, at least not for me, at least. I just had the radio up as high as it'll go. But really not a lot of competitors in this market. It used to have like the Honda S2000, but now it's just pretty much the Miata in terms of a small, I guess, sports roadster that's not six figures. Now, I do love having the blind spot monitors here, and I like that you can't really see them unless you look for them or they're on, because it's not like most vehicles where the indicator you can see clearly on the side view mirrors. You kind of have to know where they are and then be on the lookout for them. But when they are on, they're extremely bright. So I mean, final thoughts in general on this car: it's fun. Is it practical? It depends what you're in the market for. For me, not really, because this is an extremely tight squeeze. I like that the leg space is good down here by the pedals, but just overall, being a wider stature person, I just feel like I'm cooped up in here. And especially in terms of headroom, I don't even know if y'all can see the best from this view. I've had to redo this video a couple of times just because I can't get the camera right, because it's either in the ceiling or to the floor, because I only have that much room to get a good video across. But if you're gonna be driving just around town, to get groceries or go to the mall, and you're 20-30 minutes out, you should be all right. Now, me being 6'3", it won't be the most comfortable, but especially with the top down, it'll be a lot better, I think. And I mean, who gets a roadster to drive around with the top up, right? But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 MX-5 Miata.